I really do feel cheated and robbed of my last quarter of college. I knew I was going to have to graduate in June and say goodbye to everybody, but I kind of really wanted to have a lot of fun before I said goodbye. I can't remember feeling like this ever before.
As the world grinds to a halt in efforts to prevent the spread of the deadly coronavirus, my newspaper set out to discover how it's upending lives across the region. I wanted to find out how all of you were feeling and how you were coping. And I wanted to do it all without ever having to come into contact with you, as a way to help prevent the spread of the virus. Here's what I came up with: the COVID-Diaries. It's a series of interviews, all conducted over video chat, that take the temperature of a community in a time of dramatic upheaval.
Okay, thank you for taking a second.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so how are you? I'm sitting here. I'm watching. The president has declared a national emergency. I'm watching his presser until I got on the phone here with you. If you could tell me real quick, as a editor of a student paper, how are you guys covering this, and how are you dealing with it?
Yeah, this news cycle's kind of been running us a little ragged recently. We just had a staff meeting last night to try to figure everything out about how we're going to operate. Yeah, it's been stressful for sure, because a lot of us are also trying to figure out finals and if we're going to move back home or not, and what campus life is going to look like in classes, on top of trying to write articles. But we've been hanging in there.
And so tell me what's happened at UCSD, and then how that has affected you both as a student editor, but also on a personal level.
Yeah, so at UCSD, with the announcement that went out on Monday night, it feels like it was 2 weeks ago. I had dinner with some friends last night, and all of us kind of were just silent around the table, staring at each other, because we just couldn't really process what was happening. And we didn't really want to talk about what's going on, but we also didn't really know how to talk about anything else. I think one of my friends described it best when she said, it feels like there's too much and not enough happening at the same time.
It must feel, I don't want to project this idea on you, so please just tell me if I'm wrong, but it must feel like you're getting robbed of a little bit of your student experience here. At the same time, I'm guessing you have some empathy toward the situation. How are you balancing those thoughts?
I mean, I really do feel cheated and robbed of my last quarter of college. I knew I was going to have to graduate in June and say goodbye to everybody, but I kind of really wanted to have a lot of fun before I said goodbye. So yeah, it feels selfish if you kind of dwell on those feelings of being robbed or being cheated, but I'm also like 21 years old and was kind of looking forward to having a good quarter and a good way of saying goodbye to my friends, and now I just feel like there's like almost no closure available to me. So
have you experienced anything like this in life before? I mean, can you is there anything that has felt like this in your past?
No, I can't remember feeling like this ever before. I mean, there have definitely been a lot of tragedies that I've witnessed growing up, and things that have really impacted me, especially with the March for Our Lives movement and all of the school shootings and all the around that. There was a period there when I was like in late high school, entering college, when that was all going down, where I really kind of felt like shell-shocked and angry and upset and wanting to take action, but not really sure how to do that. But I was grateful in the sense that none of that school shooting stuff ever impacted me or my community directly. You know, my schools had threats, but never anything that actually went through. So I think that like that feeling of being lost and scared and confused is kind of the closest I've ever felt to this, in the sense that this could impact me, but I've never had anything on such like a national level impact me so directly before.
Have you been able to talk to people around you about what's going on, and has that been helpful?
Yeah, it has been. Because I was sick myself like 2 weeks ago, and because of all this going on, I kind of just stayed home for a week. But then this past week, I've still been going into campus, into the newspaper room, to cover all of this and to talk with my staff. And it's really been comforting to just be able to kind of exist in the same space as somebody when they're feeling the same way you are. Because even though neither one of you have answers, at least you're like not alone, you know? And so I think that that's kind of the biggest thing that I'm not looking forward to next quarter, just the reality that I won't even get that luxury of getting to be alone or confused with somebody in the same space. I don't know, we'll see. It's going to be an adjusting period for all of us, but I feel like that my friends and I, and my staff and I will be able to power through. It's just going to be uncomfortable in the meantime,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and really sad, you know, just kind of very sad that we're not going to get to have the same experience for our last little, you know, few months of college, but it'll be a story to tell our grandkids someday, you know. My friends and I are pretty surprised at how much history we've witnessed these last 5 years, and I think that this is kind of the crown on all of that.